Hello. Got another cartoon kind of effect here. We'll see how it works. I like colors. Hey, what the heck? And I like expanding out beyond what we think we look like. That's not us. That's just something we're playing with, the way I play with these controls. Okay, now, I have a journal, again, for you on free will. And I wanted to let you know that the previous one that I put up, my initial foray into free will, or one of them, the more recent one, I went back in and changed it up a bit. Not a lot. I gave it some headings to kind of help sort it out, and changed a few sentences, added a few sentences here and there. So I'll probably put a link with that one, to that one, in this one that I'm getting ready to share with you. I don't know what to say about this journal. I suspect I've bitten off a bit more than can be easily chewed in one sitting. But be that as it may, this all came as one journal. So that's how I'm delivering it. This is from Tuesday, January 10th. The Mayan day was 9 Jaguar. I have got to watch out for these Jaguar days, that being my birthday animal. It's just a powerful day for me. All right, now I have like a note at the start, just to lay some ground here. It says, when we're thinking about free will, oh, this is called, yes, there is free will, reclaiming our power, how you create. Now, that's maybe even a tentative title. I don't know. That's what I'm calling it now. So the initial note is, we have a sphere of influence where our will can work. It extends across both time, space, and dimensions. Thus, it would include our incarnations, each one, along with each body's ancestry, because you incarnate the ancestry, not just the body. It's kind of what the DNA is. And it includes all spaces we have ever occupied in any 3D form. Now that's at a minimum. What I'm finding is that in the free will discussion, terms are not well enough defined, and so I'm setting out to do that, at least for myself. So there's a lot of discussion out there that's very much at cross purposes, and people think they disagree with one another or think they agree with one another, and I suspect that this initial work hasn't been done, and they don't realize, we as a whole, humanity doesn't realize when it's talking at cross purposes. So our sphere of influence also, now listen to this one, our sphere of influence is effectively limited by our beliefs, though not actually so, since removing or changing the beliefs can re-enable full access again to the sphere of influence. So again, our sphere of influence is effectively limited by our beliefs. Okay, to the journal. This thing about being a communicator is interesting. What's natural inside is actually silence. I could easily see myself off somewhere, living in a cave, such a simple life. Nothing to interfere with the natural interior silence. Yet here I am, spouting off. This route I am on was chosen by the higher self. This much I know. It just feels right, kind of a divine plan sort of a thing. One could say that it is divinely ordained for me, or simply recognize it's what I chose. What self, capital S, chose for self, lowercase s. That's the road I see that we're on, all of us, overall. Recognition of the higher self as that, as the divine. Unfortunately, for the overall discussion of free will, most people only work from and with the conscious mind. Unwittingly, they thus limit themselves to a mere 7% of who and what they are or occupy for this incarnation. People don't generally bring the whole self into the discussion, or better said, though people bring the full self to the discussion, they only acknowledge and limit themselves to the conscious bit. So, until we can sufficiently agree on our basic terms and basic definitions for them, then we may be just wasting our time, flapping our jaws. It's not a serious discussion if we can't bring this much discipline to bear. It's so very basic, yet who even sees it, much less acknowledges it as so? Not very many. That's who. Now, overall, it's a gentle road. Source would not force itself upon us. We are too tender for that here in our long-standing mental state of separation. We think we're separate. It doesn't matter so much that it's an illusion, since to us it seems so very real. And so Source is gentle, leading us by the hand or by the heart, step by delicate step. Can we see that? Oh, sure. Some of the steps seem like crashing into a standing wall at 40 miles an hour. Even that, however, is carefully and lovingly crafted should it happen. It was just exactly and precisely the force that was needed in that time-space to break something loose within. Always within, for that's all that's real. That's where all of our real work is done, inside. Now, the more time shrinks away into the nothingness that is our current conception of it. In other words, our conception of time is ridiculous. The more I see the hand of love, capital L, behind it all, the more I feel divinely loved. Let us revel in and celebrate where we are, my friends. Let us not be so lost in contemplating or desiring some future awakening or some future anything. We lose the present that way. Celebrate your seeming incompleteness. Celebrate every moment. Recognize its inherent perfection. Now, of course, see with heart vision to have this perspective. How could it be otherwise? Give mind a break. Now, it may sound funny now, but if you don't see it yet, you soon will. Mind doesn't need your supervision. It's perfectly capable of doing its work all by itself. You can leave it be. Give mind a break from your constant presence, your supervision of it. More importantly, give yourself a break from always seeing things through mind's eyes. These are the ones we were taught to use, trained up in school and society this way, sure. Perfecting eyes of mind only. So it's little wonder that's all we know, eyes of mind. In us too, mind is thus overused. It grows somewhat exhausted, such constant use. There is no balance in this. Even within the brain, there's no balance in our overuse of the left side. Again and again, you'll hear me calling for balance. In one way, sanity itself can be defined as balance. Whatever you are in this moment, this you are. The whole constellation of that. It is what it is. And rather than be constantly warring, fighting within, wanting certain things you don't yet have, wanting to trash some things you do, trying to sort out the differences of opinions between your beliefs. Let's take a break from all of that. Let's step back and have another look. Let's see what heart has to say on it. Ready to go down the rabbit hole? When I look from there, I see things differently. Now, what I see these days is perfection. It's all just fine. Now, we must step out of time to do this, my friends. Remember, please, our concept, mankind's concept of time is totally off. Time is simultaneous. Time is another aspect of space. It's all just happening now. Tomorrow and yesterday, these are ideas. They're illusions. They don't really exist the way we think of them. You're ascended already. What you perceive may be another matter, but for now, for this, let's drop the illusion of time, our thoughts about it. Now, you can better see the perfection. It's woven into simply everything. All has its beginning, its middling, its end. All threads are woven together quite perfectly, just as they are. Give up this idea that perfection is restricted to the future. That's utter nonsense, and it keeps us from seeing it now, here. What we have within each of us could be called a collection of this and that. Due to the way of our seeing and our acting on that, some of this and that clashes. We are at war with self. Can you see this within? Don't look at others, remember. Keep it to self alone. All of your answers are here, in the now here. So we've been trained to look and see imperfection. Take that in for a moment. Let it sink down inside. See how it feels. Does it feel right to you? Can you sense that's what's happened? You may wonder why I pause this way sometimes. It's to let something sink in a bit. Let us realize that the biggest job we have right now is our vision, seeing things differently. And seeing is doing. To see is to make changes without ever doing anything else. The changes make themselves. That is more accurate. Vision is that powerful. Now, just the fact of your seeing how it is that we've all been trained up wearing these glasses that see only imperfection, just the fact of your seeing that empowers you. Anything new that you see, a new angle of vision, is a potential empowerment. The strength or the power is proportionate to the measure of truth that's there. Anyway, it becomes a simple matter to take these imperfect glasses off and to put them away. One day, we'll be ready to destroy them, but for now, it's fine to just set them aside. Your natural vision is perfect. For a while, things may look strange. Mind had other ideas about what perfection is. And mind is quite used to those old lenses of imperfection. So this is a whole new way of seeing for mind. And it throws mind off a bit. And that's perfectly fine. Now, back to the this and that we find within. Seen through eyes of heart, we better recognize the perfection of all of that. We see that what must be done is to balance things out. Everything in its own perfect measure, its own perfect time. Bring all into balance, and then see how it all feels. Living from heart is just different. Things will seem to come and go on their own. You put less and less effort of mind and of will into them, and you find it's not needed. You find things largely run on how they are seen. You find you have a new power here underlying the old powers, the ones that you knew of already. And this new one is vision, only that. Yet, you find it's vision that moves mountains. And you may wonder, how on earth it does that? Well, I have a suggestion. Never mind. Let that go. It's just a temptation to go back into that other perspective, the eyes of mind view of things, the one that's been trained to see only imperfectly. So surrender every such thought as it arises. Remember, there's no need to supervise mind. Let it do its own thing, and meanwhile you stay in heart. Try that out for a change. You may like it. So what is your tolerance for the strange? As one having moon conjunct Uranus in her natal chart in Cancer, strange is something that I love and I'm comfortable with. And that may not be you. And that's fine. Keep ever remembering you are perfect as you are. Very careful selection went into making you just that way. You chose your birth chart, your moment of birth. You had a hand in that. So just relax with it. Relax into it. You are just fine. Throw all ideas of imperfection or unworthiness out. Toss them. There's no room for them here. Such utter nonsense. Besides, they won't fit in heart. Now, I ask about the strange because when you're new to heart perspective, it will be strange, at least at first. It's not mind's way of seeing at all. And so things will clash between the two views. I ask you to keep adopting heart vision in those cases. Just be quietly consistent that way. It will pay off. You may have some odd moments, you will have to be sure, but it will all come together for you in ways you can't now imagine. One thing that it's best to surrender at the start is the need to understand. You will not always understand. You want to keep fighting that forever? I find that more often than not, full understanding doesn't arrive with any new vision. What comes with it is a sense of how it is somehow right or divine in some way. It has a good feel to it, in other words. It's better than the way we saw before. Our desire to understand things, this is often one of the hardest things to release. But it need not be. You can let go of it in an instant. Just do it. Things are really much simpler than mind can yet believe, but mind will catch up. Have no worries on your mind's behalf. It will do fine. It's got a hold on you now, your mind does, one that must be broken. It's fine to have a mind, but mind has you in most cases. And that's doing things backwards. The cart before the horse. At some point, you will see this if you haven't already, maybe at many points. Understanding naturally comes later. Experience first. And mind has that backwards. Demanding always understanding before coming into experience. Can you see how it's the reflection of what is in this backwardness? that's there to be seen through eyes of heart,